On this podcast, it's Marcella Puppini and Kate Mullins, who are two members of the trio, the Puppini Sisters.
Right, on the Sans Showbiz podcast today, not just one guest, I've got two, Marcella, and I've got Kate as well. Hello.
Hello, nice to see you.
Hello, Nigel.
Sisters, it's going to be great talking about you, by the way. We're going to find out a little bit more about you, because some people might not know, but most people do, let's face it.
Not many people know nearly enough about us, clearly. So that's why we're here.
So you've been performing nearly 20 years, is that right? Or is it over 20 years now?
It is bang on 20 years.
Wow, that's some going. How did it all come about in the first place then, Marcella?
Well, it was something that I've been wanting to do for a while.
Yeah.
Wanted to form a singing group. Having left college, I'd met Kate and I met at Trinity College of Music, and I left in 2003. And the thing that I missed most about studying music was the jazz choir that Kate and I were both in.
Right.
And I really wanted to recapture the magic.
Yeah.
I reached out to Kate, and here we are 20 years later.
Yeah, well, we were the tenors we formed a very small tenor section in our jazz choir because there was a severe lack of blokes. So Marchie and I kind of put on our deepest boots and did the tenor part. And got together and decided we should do something. And then Marchie started playing with the Andrews sisters and the Belsall sisters, and was like, so then we found Rosanna, who was our third member. Yeah. And then took it from there. But it was a very good decision, Martin. It's very
it was one of my better ones.
Yeah, it comes together very natural, doesn't it? It sounds absolutely superb. The harmonies that you've captured, I think it's a great, easy listen.
Thank you. Yeah, we worked really hard at it. It's like, especially in the early days, to really get the lexicon down, the music lexicon, because we did a lot of listening together and a lot of just trying things out, and it was really, really fun, but we took it incredibly seriously as well. Like syllable after syllable. No, you didn't pronounce it quite the same as me.
Yeah, we took it as a sort of historical, like deep dive into like how this music sounded so cohesive. And a lot of those sister groups, they were exactly that. They were sisters. So they were biologically linked. And so we knew that we were slightly on the back foot in that respect, having not shared any parental lineage in any way.
Or any kind of cultural
lineage, anything. So we had to create that. So we spent a heck of a lot of time together. And when you're singing this 3-part vocal harmony sort of music, so many of the cues are actually peripheral as well as sort of oral and, musical, that you're preempting somebody's movement to define how they're going to phrase something, or where they're coming in, where they're coming off. And you can only really predict somebody when you spent that much time together. Yeah,
you're doing it when you're actually looking at each other as well. Am I right in saying that, obviously? Yeah.
We've learned to feel each other, so we can look at each other, but on stage we don't get to. So when we don't get to see each other, we feel each other, and we're very very aware of each other's presence.
So sensual, Marty.
Yeah. So you couldn't do this separately then, could you not? One in each location and try and do it that way. It would never work, would it not?
We tried. The first album that we recorded, the producer decided to put us in different rooms to get perfect separation of sound for mixing. Yeah. It was a disaster.
It was awful, wasn't it?
Yeah. We sounded all out of sync. It was terrible, absolutely terrible.
Yeah. I don't know of anybody else that sounds as good as you, because I've listened to quite a few people and I don't get the harmonies are as tight as what you've got them.
Thank you.
Well, we will pay you later. Thank you, Nigel. I think also the fact is that we have 3 very different voices. Yeah. And I think sometimes when you get 3 voices that sound quite similar, and often if they're coming from a musical theatre discipline or something where the overarching technique and sound is there's a sheen over the top. Yeah. Sometimes it can sound a bit chorused, like it can sound just a little bit homogenized. And actually, I think it's the 3 separate components of the voices that form that really balanced sound.
Yeah. Do you get a problem if you go to, obviously the different theatres and that, and the venues are all different sounding, aren't they? Does that cause you a few problems when you first start out, or are you so auto-tuning to it, or? How's it
Well,
work?
we have had car crashes of nights. Not like not that we were any bad, but like
Yes.
we've had moments that where we were quite unsure of what we were doing because we couldn't
Right.
hear anything. Different acoustics can influence you in different ways, but
Yeah.
we're so used to each other now that we can work with pretty much every room.
Yeah, we have in-ear monitoring.
monitoring.
We have in-ear monitoring as well, don't we? So
Yeah.
that makes life a little bit easier. But we also insist on having quite a large reverb on our voices in our ears. So when we have our voices coming back to us, we have a balance of ourselves and the two others. And that decay of the reverb means you've got that split second for your ears to kind of acclimatize to the other two around you. So even if we're completely out of tune with the band, we're completely together, sliding off key.
Brilliant. So what I love about you as well, all the presentation on the stage is fantastic, isn't it? Where do you get all your wardrobe from? Because it looks stunning.
Well, thank you. We've had great collaborations with a lot of different dressmaking companies and designers, and some of the stuff I've designed myself because I come from a fashion background.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've really worked at it. Our main thing is that we want to sit somewhere between the vintage look, but also fashion.
Yeah.
We never want to be complete revivalists. In fact, I remember once I got invited as a judge at I think it was Goodwood Festival or Twinwood in a dressing competition. And I was supposed to judge the best dressed, and I picked the people that I thought were best dressed, and they lost because everybody else was looking at them thinking, oh, the buttons on that jacket weren't quite appropriate. You would never have had that stitching at that time. What on earth?
I thought you were going to vote yourself and said, well, I'm the best dressed here.
Oh, God, I didn't even think about it. I should have.
Very busy at the moment, aren't you? You've got all the tour and that, aren't you, going on?
I like your style.
Do you go back? Yeah, do you go back home in between the dates of your tour? Because it gets really busy, doesn't it? In November, you've got a lot of dates to get through. How do you go on? Do you just stay at a hotel, or do you how's it work?
Yeah, it depends. So if we have 4 nights in a row, we all go home. And also it depends because we don't all live in London. Kate is in Dorset now, and 2 of our boys are in Frome. So sometimes they'll go home, but myself and Emma and the drummer have to stay at a hotel. It's a bit all over the place the way we're.
Essentially our poor tour manager has the most awful job pulling together all our loose threads. So yeah, thanks.
Trying to keep the reins on you and keep you all in order, yeah? Bit of a difficult one. I'm not saying it is, but maybe. It would be for me. So you got the tour, and then your first album came out in 2006, yeah, and you've got one in the wings for 2025. Yeah, when's that coming out? Do you know?
We haven't quite decided yet. It depends on when our next tour is, because if our next tour is in September, October 25, then it'll be then. If not, it'll be 2026, and then it'll be the complete 20th anniversary album.
Right.
Because we're really milking this 20th anniversary window. So it's 20 years since our first album with Universal this year.
Yeah.
No, sorry. 20 years of being together this year. And then in 2 years' time, it's the 20th anniversary of Bet Your Bottom Dollar, which was the first album with Universal. So we figure we've got 2 years to kind of do some touring, do some recording, and then hopefully it will come up at, year and a half, something like that, and so really be our 20th.
You need new anniversaries, don't you, to come up, and then you can maybe release another
find
album.
Them. Don't worry, we'll find them. Because then there's the anniversary of when Emma joined the band, because she joined in 2012. So we have so many anniversaries.
Yeah.
And for your listeners who don't necessarily know what we do, we often we do write some of our own material. We do some sort of Faithful Andrews Sisters, Boswell Sisters reimaginings, rearrangements, but we also take modern day or more modern up-to-date pop songs and antique them. So in the past, we've taken our own suggestions, some other people's suggestions. And now we're doing this kind of online bit on our socials, which is called Can You Puppini That? Because, you know, people so often ask us, can you do this song? Have you tried this? Does it work?
Yeah.
And it doesn't always work, but we're open for suggestions. So we're, again, using this 2-year window to get as many suggestions as possible. Every month we do a little snippet of some new ones, see if it works. So by the time we hit the studio, we're going to have just the album that everybody clearly wants to listen to.
Yes. Yeah. Or we'll probably more likely have a myriad of very unlikely choices, because we want to try the most out there.
Yeah.
Have you got any suggestions for us, Nigel?
No,
Yeah,
well,
like
I don't
to
know,
hear.
because my music taste is so wide, isn't it?
Great.
That's what we want.
And it's a problem when it's wide, because if somebody says, what's your favorite song? You think, well,
Yeah.
I like so many songs. It's so difficult. Isn't it?
Favorite rock song?
A rock
Yeah.
song? Would you do a rock song? Would you?
Of course we would.
Yeah.
We have done.
Yeah. Brilliant. I'm not a rocky person. I'm more of a, I'm a bit of a poppy person, really. So anything.
Oh, go on. What's your favorite? Okay, let's give you a decade. What's your favorite 90s pop?
Oh, I'm very difficult with 90s. I'm more of an 80s guy, really.
Okay, go on, 80s.
Give us
Yeah,
your
I
eight.
love so many people in the 80s. I'm just look at all the funk songs and stuff like that. That's my sort of, because I was a nightclub DJ in the 80s. So all the club songs are really all my favorite songs, because I've played them too many times, really, to be honest. But yeah.
Well, if you have a suggestion, you let us know and we'll make it happen.
Oh,
Do you want a Fatboy Slim?
oh yeah, that'd be good. Yeah. That
Yeah?
was good, yeah.
All right, we'll do you one of those.
Oh, wow. What's your favorite one that you've done so far then? Have you got a favorite song or not? One that feels like an anthem. Here we go. We're going for it now.
There's a few. Yes, there's
Yeah.
a few. There's one that we haven't done on stage yet that is becoming a favorite.
Yes,
Oh.
we'll hold that one back. That Marcella's just done an arrangement of a classic 80s, like
Oh, is it
mammoth
80s?
anthem. And it's so good. But I think in our back catalogue, I've loved doing Wuthering Heights and Panic by the Smiths. That's been great.
Wow.
Marcella did an amazing arrangement of Can It Be Magic as well, which
Yeah, we did that as well.
the Donna Summer, which I think is one of my favorites. It's so beautiful. Such a big, it's
Yeah.
like the Donna Summer version. It's actually kind of big and heartfelt.
And
like,
one that
you
the
know,
crowds always go
deep.
for really a lot is Kate's arrangement of Walk Like an Egyptian. So, you know,
Oh, yeah.
if you
Brilliant.
like a bit of the 80s.
Yeah, the
we-
bangles.
the 80s.
Fantastic. Yeah. They had loads of hits, didn't they? Brilliant. Has it
Yeah.
got to be something upbeat then every time? Would you do a bit of a slowy every so often?
Yeah.
We do some heartfelt ballads.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the ballads, because at the end of the night, we used to in the 80s, used to play slow songs at the end of the night to wrap it all up.
Yeah. So
We've
we've
got
got
a few of those.
Can It Be Magic is one of the ones that sticks in my mind. Marcella's also done Shallow, which is beautiful. It was like an almost Glenn Miller-esque. We did an album in 2000 and what was it, March?
2020 it was.
2020
Yeah.
with the Pasadena Roof Orchestra, who's a big, you know,
Brilliant.
an old school big band. And yeah, the arrangement of Shallow on that is amazing. It's like Glenn Miller sort of stepped into Lady Gaga's studio and done an arrangement. It's fantastic. That's
What
a
a-
very poignant moment in our set.
I love the amount of different directions you can go. You're not
Yeah.
just pigeonholed at all, are you?
No.
Fantastic.
And we write our own material as well. Like we have quite a few original songs
Yeah.
that we've through the years. Some
Yeah.
of which are very, very silly. One that we do every time is Kate and I co-wrote it's called We Love to Bebop. And it's complete nonsense. You know, jazz scat singing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all that basically.
Brilliant.
It's great fun to sing. So yeah, we're no holds barred. We just do whatever we want.
Yeah.
And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. For example, I'm really into my rock and my metal, and I tried to do Welcome to the Jungle, and that doesn't work because it already swings. So there's not
Yeah.
actually much I could really do with it. The shananananananies was good fun though. We've got to get that into another arrangement.
Sounds like you have great fun anyway when you're doing it all the time. You're really enjoying it, aren't you?
And there's nothing we won't try.
Yeah.
Even if it's a complete disaster, we'll try it anyway.
Right. I was going to ask you, because like at this time of the year, right, I always used to have a problem with this when I was on the radio. You get a cold and then you start losing your voice, and it was like, "Ugh," you know, as a radio presenter, you were like, oh no, I lost my
Yeah.
voice. I could lose it for
over.
2 days. What's your ways of keeping them away? Because it could you know, throw a spanner in the works, couldn't it? Really? How do you keep yourself pretty okay?
We do one thing that that has been suggested by a lot of throat, nose, and ear people recommend it, which is blowing bubbles into water.
Right.
So you take a straw.
Yeah.
It's miraculous.
And then you basically do these kind of these exercises. So this is a speech therapy sort of, it comes from that. So if you feel your voice getting tired or whatever, you head to a straw and then you use it like a kazoo. That's a massive one. You use the smaller ones as well. And it is a voice saver. So when you feel like you've got absolutely nothing, I mean, obviously there are times you have laryngitis and it's just game over.
Yeah.
But luckily when you're in a 3-part vocal harmony trio, we did one gig, didn't we, Marcy, where you had no voice. Nobody noticed. They were like,
not one person noticed. I was actually heartbroken afterwards because everybody came to congratulate us, and I thought, but didn't you hear that I didn't sing for the whole gig?
You just
but luckily we were background, so they weren't really listening.
There used to be some mixture that I used to get, and it was brown in the bottle, and you could hardly get it at the chemist, and it was disgusting. You used to
like
just
or something. Yeah.
No, it's stronger. It was like vinegar. It was. I've forgotten the name. They don't have it anymore.
Yeah, they must have realised it was. Yeah, it wasn't actually good for you, right?
Well, I think it tended to work though. It used to get back on air within a day, but you sounded.
Try the bubbles. The bubbles are the thing to do.
Definitely try that now. I'll be blowing bubbles all the time now.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's really good.
Do you get any time off over Christmas? Because obviously your schedule's busy right the way up to the end of November, or are you always going to be working?
No, we have time off at Christmas, don't we? Yeah. It's our tour goes up till the sort of beginning mid-December, and then we're back home. Actually, we're in Greece though, aren't we? Just
our last trip of the year is to Athens on the 18th of December. That is going to be the closing Christmas.
So what's the best place you've performed at then? There's going to be one big one, isn't there? Really?
So many, because we've been really, really lucky, because one that springs to mind is LA at the Greek with Cyndi Lauper.
Wow.
It was incredible. But also the O2 Arena with Michael Bublé.
Yeah, I know. It'll be cropping up again at Christmas.
Yeah.
Always. He's just synonymous with Christmas, that lovely man. It's such a joy to hear him.
How did you get to come in to, performing on the song?
He asked us, he said that he'd been listening to our Christmas album, because ours came out before his, a year before his.
Yeah.
And he used to go running, allegedly, he said, listening to our Christmas album.
I don't know what that would have looked like, but
and he was the one that contacted us.
Yeah. Do you get a royalty off him though when it does go in the charts or anything?
He's always been very generous.
We can't answer that question.
Right. Okay.
He's a very generous performer.
Right. So you got this new album coming out in 2025. Is that all sorted already though? Is it, or have you still got to do some work on that?
No, that's what we're saying. We're accumulating these songs and choices, and we're going to see if some of them work, and then we're going to just really hit the road with it and see which songs. We're going to do a bit of a crowd poll, and see which ones work. We don't often have the luxury to do that.
love performing, because sometimes we think we're going to love performing a song, and it turns out we don't.
And vice versa. We're like, oh god, this one's going to be but then it just is so much fun.
So if you don't like anything, it gets binned, does it?
Sure.
You've all got to like it.
We've had a couple of instances, one memorable instance in which one of the band refused to play the song, so we couldn't record it because he just wouldn't play it.
Wow.
And
Oddly enough, he's still in the band. Why is he still in the band?
I know. What are we doing?
So where are you based, Nigel? Where can you come?
I'm at Lytham St Anne's, which is on the Fylde coast in the northwest of England. Do you know where Lytham St Anne's? I don't know whether you've been up here, but there's a few theatres up here.
I don't think we've made
Lowther
that far.
Pavilion at Lytham. That's a nice one.
No, I thought we'd been, but I think we were going to go in 2020, because we released our album in April 2020. Our last album.
Right in the middle of it then, weren't we? It's all under.
So
COVID
we
wraps.
were going to come to the pavilion, I believe, and didn't.
Must come up sometime. If you come up, I'll come and see you.
Well, we're in
make sure-
Harrogate, but I think that's not that near to you.
I've just been to Harrogate about 2 months ago, maybe 6 weeks ago.
I have to come back on the.
It's a week. It's next week. It's
Is it?
the 29th of October. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to come, you let us know.
I will. Yeah, I'll let you know. Yeah, it's a lovely theatre there as well, isn't it? Harrogate's a lovely place. I find
Harrogate Theatre's gorgeous. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, they've got
really
some
good.
fantastic shops there. I spent quite a bit of money there, but that's
Oh.
I won't
that
have to go there again for a bit. Yeah, so it's all going well for you then. How do people find out about you a bit more then online?
They can go to www.thepuppini-sisters.com, and that's where they'll find a plethora of fun tidbits and music.
And you mentioned social media. What's your favorite social media platform?
Instagram.
Instagram. Does that
Yeah.
work the best for you?
Yeah.
Everybody says Instagram.
Facebook.
Facebook, yeah, it's a little bit old out though, isn't it, Facebook? But I still get quite a bit of following off there. I'll tell you what works for me, and this is a bit of an odd one really, but if I put a sample of the video that we're making, if I put that onto LinkedIn, you'll get hundreds of views, just like that.
Oh my
And
goodness.
you wouldn't have
really?
thought that, but yeah, it's completely different. And there are actually people that are going to watch it, but I know the business people, but they've still got their interests, you know. So I will be placing this video on there.
Thank you.
See how
I
it
guess
goes.
it's not such a noisy platform for this kind of thing. So
No, exactly.
in.
Yeah, I'm astonished at how many hundreds of views I get straight away on there. And that's a really good one. So we'll place you on there and see. You might be taking it up again then. In the future.
Well, I mean, we have. Well, we don't have a profile as the Puppini Sisters on.
Yeah.
And we'll create one
You need to.
presently.
There you
Can
go.
Rachel, you are a mine of information. This is incredible.
Yeah.
I meant to be interviewing you, not giving you. Oh, not again.
It's all about promotion. You're just sharing some promotional tools. This is very
That's
helpful.
it. Yeah. Yeah. So great. Okay. So get a Christmas song out. Can you do your own Christmas song, do you think?
Well, we have a whole album, and then in 2021 we released an EP of 4 original Christmas songs. We have, yeah. So we're obviously we're also on Spotify, YouTube, wherever it's possible to be, apart from LinkedIn, where we
do these little reels as well.
We'll be on LinkedIn at 3:25 today. Just give me an hour to sort it out.
Yeah. And you don't go near TikTok, do you?
We've tried, but we don't have the patience to actually participate in the conversation.
No, it's a funny one, TikTok. I can't master TikTok, but I've tried it a few times, but it doesn't seem to work for us. I think they're very young people, aren't they? And they're just literally flicking over things all the time and not watching.
Very young people and people that are less young who are trying to be to get it and don't.
I think you cracked it. That's what it is. Yeah,
it's a bit excruciating. I can't do it.
No.
There is one meme that we're a part of that goes gets massive TikTok traction, and that was a chap who did a video of us and Michael Bublé, and he plays all 4 of us in this meme, and it's basically the idea of the meme is that we're roasting Bublé, and by the end Bublé's kind of like dripping in sweat, and we're like, which is very flattering, and it comes up every year. But as far as I know, that's the only TikTok.
See if we can get one going.
Yeah,
great chatting anyway. So we'll get our tickets, get over to Harrogate. Where else are you going apart from Harrogate? Can you remember?
It's a very good question, isn't it? We will be in Poole, down this way, Basingstoke, Cardiff, Coventry, Yeovil, Bury St Edmunds, Hunstanton, Eastleigh, Newcastle under Lyme, Harpenden, Sunderland, London at the Cadogan Hall, which will be wonderful, because we've been there before, the Milton Keynes Stables, which is a wonderful jazz venue, and then we're in France and in Athens in December.
Wow,
so
fantastic.
There we go.
And then a break.
and Bristol.
Oh, and Bristol.
Don't
How
forget
can
Bristol.
we forget? Yeah.
And then you get a nice break. Do you go on a holiday together, or do you go all separate?
We have. Yes, we have done, but not for Christmas. We We go,
chill out
to our
time.
respective families.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then we'll do
totally
a bit more touring around Easter, and then spring, and then in the studio in the summer, and then the album will be out. So yeah, check us out. Come and see us performing at some point in the next
Brilliant.
week.
It's been great catching up with you anyway. Maybe we'll keep in touch, yeah, and tell us what you're getting up to. Because when the album comes out, we need to do a big release, don't we? So we need to get that all sorted. And then I can put it on LinkedIn, the album.
All of it.
I mean, that is genius. You might be responsible for making us a global phenomenon.
Yeah, you know where we are. Let them say hands. Anyway, it's been great chatting to you, and both of you as well at the same time, which is even better. It's a shame we couldn't have filled the screen with 4 people, isn't it, really? But there we go.
Oh, I know. That Emma, she's hard to pin down. She's in Hong Kong. I don't know what she's doing.
Right.
She's off.
Okay. Well, keep in touch. Let us know what's going on. And then I'll do the same for you, and we'll get you out there. You'll be on Spotify and everything by the end of the week.
Yes. Fantastic.
Thanks, Nigel.
Okay.
Thanks for being here.
Bye now.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us and sharing in the untold stories of the stars. In the world of showbiz, there's always another story waiting to be told. See you next time.